I can see the red strings of fate above people's heads. Anyone connected by one of those strings will end up falling in love someday. When I was a kid, I spotted one above my mom's head. The other end wasn't linked to my dad, who was sitting in the living room watching the news. It was connected to the friendly neighbor next door, the guy who always treated me kindly. Now, I've seen one above my girlfriend's head. It's bright, glaring, and just like before. The other end isn't me. I don't know when it started, but I can see these threads. They're thin, blood red, like silk soaked in crimson. One inch sprouts from the top of someone's head. The other drifts lazily until it sinks into another person's skull. They show up without warning. Maybe it'll appear on your coworker's head while they're hunched over their desk, or flash in the hair of a stranger brushing past you on the street. You might go your whole life without seeing one, or it could pop up in the next instant. I call them fate strings. It's not that people without them can't fall in love, but the ones connected by them, they'll end up loving each other, getting tangled up, staying together. It's just a matter of time. I try to change it. A long time ago, I was about 10 when I first saw one on my mom's head, so red it hurt my eyes. The other end wasn't my dad, who was always quietly smoking on the couch. It was the uncle next door, the one who'd sometimes smile, pat my head, and hand me a piece of candy. That red thread swayed in front of me, floating around. Every time I looked up, it'd be dancing wildly above her head, like a red-hot needle. It kept me up day and night. The thread hadn't been there at first. When that uncle moved in, everything was normal. He'd greet the neighbors warmly, sometimes give out handmade crafts. Then Dad started going on more business trips. Mom's complaints about him piled up. Dinners at home turned into silent affairs. I don't know exactly when the thread appeared. Dad was still quiet. Mom still griping that no one helped her. That Dad wasn't thoughtful enough. Griping that he'd let himself go, packing on the pounds. When I couldn't take it anymore and looked up, there it was. That red thread on Mom's head. It twisted and turned, passing through the wall right into the next apartment. That day, I knocked on the neighbor's door. I saw the thread on the uncle's head, too. Mom happened to step out just then. The thread between them shortened to match their distance, swaying in a breeze. I watched her talk to him with a smile she never used on Dad. They chatted for a long time. Afterward, Mom seemed reluctant to end it. The uncle patted my head again, slipping another candy into my hand. Here for you. In that moment, I realized something. My family was falling apart. After that, they spent more time together. When Dad was away on trips, Mom would dress up in her new flashy clothes, all dolled up, and head out. She'd come back late at night. One day, I heard laughter from next door, and Mom's voice was in it. I eavesdropped on her phone call with him, her tone soft in a way I'd never heard. I panicked and started clumsily trying to stop it. I deliberately ruined the new dress she was going to wear to meet him. I clung to her leg, crying when she tried to leave, but nothing worked. Mom crouched down, smiling at me, fingered her lips. Don't tell Dad, okay? This is our little secret. Promise me if you tell Dad, he'll get suspicious, and you don't want to worry him more, right? She turned and left, getting into his car. I was a bad kid. That night, I stammered it all out to Dad. He didn't react much, just stared at the TV, his cigarette ash growing long and falling onto his pants without him noticing. A few days later, they had the biggest fight ever. I don't remember the details. Just Mom's shrill voice and the crash of Dad smashing a mug. That's just how it is. What are you going to do about it? Look at him. Then look at you. I must have been blind to marry you. Then Mom stormed out, Dad chasing after her. Next came a screech of brakes, neighbors' gasps, and a spreading pool of red, thicker than any faint string I'd seen. After that, I was a kid without a family. Neighbors called me a jinx, said I'd kill my parents. I wondered, too, if I hadn't told Dad, maybe the family would still be together. Maybe I really did destroy it. So, I lived alone, avoiding everyone's eyes, until I met Emily. She was a kind, bubbly girl. On the first day of school, I was huddled in the corner, buried in a book, ignoring everything. The classroom buzz felt like it belonged to another world. I was separated by a thick barrier. Usually, people would steer clear, not wanting to jinx themselves. But not that day. Hey, I am. What's your name? She stood at my desk, leaning down with a gentle tone. I didn't look up, just muttered, Alex, and kept reading, but she didn't give up. She sat across from me. Her soft voice came again, carrying a hint of jasmine scent. Hey, I'm reading that book too. What a coincidence. She chatted away like we'd known each other forever. Even when I ignored her, her enthusiasm didn't fade. No awkward silences for her. It was like she was saying, "You not talking is your choice. Me talking is mine." I never met anyone like that. Finally, I closed the book and looked at her flatly. What do you want? If you need someone to talk to, find somebody else. I glanced at the cheerful crowd around us. Anyone that was more talkative than me. Emily went quiet, resting her chin on her hands, smiling at me. Finally got your attention. I paused, looking at the girl in front of me. Sunlight streaming in from the window, gilding her hair. Fair, radiant. It felt like a hole had been punched in my life. Sunshine poured in after so long. I don't know when we started dating. It just happened naturally. Eating together, going to class, reading side by side. We'd share favorite quotes, argue over movie plots. I'd surprise her out of the blue with flowers or a weekend getaway. You're such a spendthrift. Why blow all that money? She'd swat my arm, scolding, but her eyes sparkling with joy. I smiled. Money's replaceable. Seeing your smile makes it worth it. She blinked, then burst out laughing. Where'd you learn that cheesy line? So corny. I scratched my head, embarrassed. But Emily hugged me tight. I like it though. Say more. Her voice muffled, playful. Don't spend it all on me from now on. She patted my back. Save some for the wedding gift. I held her close, joking. Can't marry you without a gift. She bit me lightly. A sharp twinge, then her teasing whisper in my ear. No gift then. Just give me yourself. She tackled me down. That day I got a happy afternoon and a sharp new suit. She'd surprised me too. Admit it. Surprised or what? Her eyes expectant, staring at a plate of charred mess. My mouth twitched. Surprised? Yeah. Her first time cooking for me. I ate bite by bite. She snatched my fork in panic. I was kidding. Why'd you actually eat it? Pouting, dissatisfied, then teary-eyed, fussing over me. Should we go to the ER? What if something happens? I ruffled her hair, pulling her close. If something happens, I'll stick with you next life. She punched my shoulder, laughing through tears. I'll take care of you forever. Make you eat my cooking for life. I shuddered. No thanks. And she pinched my side. Life was like that. Ups and downs, quiet moments. I always looked forward to the future. I trusted Emily's character. Trusted our love. No, fate's string ever appeared above her head, but fate seemed to enjoy messing with me. I spotted the string while Emily was curled in my arms watching TV. A hot romantic comedy was on. Handsome, brave hero, beautiful, graceful heroine. They overcame everything to be together. Emily's eyes shone with longing for that on-screen love. Alex, we have to stay together forever and ever. Until we get married. Until we're old and gray. We're going to be happy. Emily turned, staring at me intently. I stared back, dazed. She tapped my nose, chuckling. What? Touched. Her words were playful. But I felt chilled to the bone because a familiar red string had appeared above her head, and the other end wasn't me. It stretched out through the door. Knock, knock. The door rapped. My body jolted. Emily got up from my lap, heading to answer. It must be Jake. Jake, a friend from college, now at the same company, a mutual friend of ours for years. We hung out when free. This time he was invited for dinner. The door opened, revealing Jake's goofy grin. Total nice guy vibe. Colleen. Kin. Emily greeted him warmly. Jake smiled, handing over fruits and snacks. They chatted and laughed at the door. I felt ice cold because Emily's string connected to none other than Jake. Alex, you okay? Jake asked, staring at me like that. He had come in joking. What? You got a crush on me. He pinched his voice, acting helpless. Ew, I snapped back. No mood for the usual banter. Emily sat beside me, hugging my arm tight. Back off. Alex is mine. No one takes him. Jake shrugged. Fine. Fine. No one is stealing your Alex. Ha. They bantered. It was normal stuff, but now it felt loaded. I wished I'd misseen it. But opening my eyes again, the string was still there. Vivid, bright, even seeming thicker, redder. I looked at them. Emily loved me. Jake had a girlfriend. My mind spun. Before Emily, I'd observed strings a few times. A string's appearance didn't mean true love. It was more a sign their bond would grow intimate. As for the future, maybe enemies, maybe happily ever after. I'd seen people who hated each other trading insults sprout connected strings. Next time I saw them, they were all lovey-dovey. I'd seen a girl with a devoted childhood sweetheart, but a string appeared. Soon, her side had a new face, not the old one. I tried stopping it. A long time ago in middle school, I noticed one on my female homeroom teacher's head. The other end was a dad at parent-teacher night. That dad had a wife. His kid was my buddy, outgoing, trying to prevent his family from breaking like mine. I decided to try. Whenever the teacher and dad were alone, I butted in. I'd learned there was no telling the kid directly, fearing he'd repeat my mistake. I stalked their progress like a creep, but failed anyway. By ninth grade, my buddy's seat was empty. He found out about my meddling. I remember his hateful glare before leaving. Why didn't you tell me sooner? If you had, my family wouldn't. He wiped tears and left with his mom. Did I mess up again? In high school, facing another childhood sweethearts pair, I told the guy, but he didn't believe me. He thought I was slandering his girl. He cussed me out and warned he'd beat me if I kept it up. I listened. All my failures came from being too stubborn. Next, I heard he was arrested for murder. The victim was his girl's new boyfriend. He had gone to see her and caught them kissing passionately. Rage took over. Tragedy struck. The teacher lectured on stage. Everyone stay calm. Don't act on impulse. I wonder if this happened to me someday. What would I do? Later, I learned silence. I ignored those invisible swaying strings until one grew above Emily's head. The sun was shining that day, in the morning. We made breakfast together. She hummed while frying eggs. I poured milk. We daydreamed about her future. Now, my hand shook, spilling the drink everywhere. Emily yelled, wiping it up and asking, "What's wrong?" Jake teased, "You must be overdoing it lately." Worn out, I looked at her so close, and the string pointed straight at him. My throat was tight. I couldn't speak. I felt resentful. Yeah, Emily and I had years together. Her eyes crinkled when she laughed. She cuddled during the rain while watching old movies. I remembered I hated cilantro. We had so many good times. But that string hung like a sword over my head. The childhood blood-red memory and later failed attempts flooded back, drowning me. I tried really hard with the same doomed determination. I skipped hangouts with Jake and made excuses to limit their meetings. Emily understood, but casually mentioned Jake had been busy. Haven't seen him in ages. I minimized Emily and Jake's contact. They gamed together. I'd say I was tired. Want her with me? They chatted excitedly. I'd awkwardly change topics. I even planned a short trip, just us. I hoped intense couple time would erase the string space. Those days were blissful. Emily beamed like old times. I thought I'd won until the trip back home. Jake picked us up, punched my arm, laughing. You guys had a blast, huh? I saw Emily's string, not gone, but more solid. At first, she didn't notice. Later, with a puzzled look, she asked, "What's up? You've been acting weird, kind of targeting Jake." Jake clapped my shoulder, half joking. "Buddy, you've been watching me closely. Afraid I'll steal your Emily?" His words stabbed. I could only stay quiet. Worse, the strings seemed to pull them magnetically. Despite my blocks, their bond grew intimate under my nose, unstoppable. More inside jokes, longer eye contact. Emily casually ate the fruit Jake offered. Jake comforted her with work complaints, even massaged her shoulders. They even went to movies and shopping when I was busy at work. I complained and reminded Emily that I felt they were too close. She was my girlfriend. What did she say? Oh, she laughed. What? Scared someone will steal your girl. She snuggled in, cooing, "Relax. You're the only one I like. Jake's just a friend. Don't overthink." She poked my chest. "If you're worried, spend more time with me." She said it straight, with no guilt. I believed her, at least then. But in the future, I was exhausted like a bystander on shore, watching the string tighten, pulling them to destiny. I was gradually losing the courage to reach out. I'd paid the price once. It was too heavy. I gave up completely and started letting things flow. No more restricting Emily and Jake's space. I didn't pry into their hangouts. Emily sighed. "You're finally acting normal." I just smiled faintly. Finally normal. From that day, I stopped bombarding her with texts, asking about everything. I poured all my energy into work. I came home later and later, even deliberately creating chances for them to be alone. I took business trips and left the apartment to them. I figured my exit would let the strings of fate unfold smoothly. Then everything would settle, and I could keep living with my curse like a ghost. But Emily started acting off. First, there were tentative probes, cuter emojis, cooking my favorites, and leaving the light on when I got home late. When my coldness grew, she became anxious and hurt. She asked over and over, "Alex, what's wrong? Did I mess up? Tell me. I'll fix it." Her red eyes tugged at my heart. The strings swayed above her, mocking me. I looked away, unable to bear it. Her questions grew desperate. Tearfully, "You don't like me anymore? Say something, Alex. Don't do this." That night, she cornered me in the living room, tears like broken beads. Rain outside sounded like a storm when we watched old movies. She grabbed my arm, nails digging in. "Please don't leave me. I can't without you." Seeing her tears, my mind flashed to my mom's determined back storming out, my dad's stumbling chase, and that glaring scarlet exhaustion drowning me. I heard my voice dry and flat. "Emily, let's break up." She froze, staring in disbelief, color draining, then erupted in sobs like her heart was shattering. I pounded my chest, incoherent. "Why? Why? Give me a reason." "I won't. I refuse." I stood like a lifeless log. Finally, she collapsed, crying, eyes vacant. I thought that was the end. But no. After the breakup, I moved out. Emily escalated, clinging harder. She somehow got a key to my place. Came daily with baked goods or my forgotten clothes. Curled on my couch watching TV, munching chips. Chattered about recent fun, pretending we never split, forcing old vibes. I changed the locks, wouldn't open. She knocked endlessly, waited outside. I ignored her. She flooded Messenger with long memories. "Questions, please." My silence hurt her more. She came again, blocking the doors stubbornly, eyes swollen, voice trembling. "Alex, tell me why. Even if I die, let me know." Seeing her near breakdown, a mix of weariness and pity rose. Maybe a reason would make her give up. I looked at her the first time mentioning the name. "You?" And Jake got too close. She blinked, then flared. "Jake? That's it. He's just a friend. Your buddy. Normal stuff. Normal." I smirked, listing details. Gaming till late, sharing half-eaten food. Him lingering downstairs after dropping you off. "I warned you. You said I was overreacting. That's because I thought we were solid. No need to avoid." Emily shouted, face flushed. "Alex, you're dumping me over rumors." "I don't buy it." Seeing her like that, I sighed. I told her my past. Every detail. Clearly, she didn't believe. She laughed maniacally, thinking it was an excuse. "You expect me to buy this nonsense. Alex, you fell for someone else. You cheated." She latched on like it made sense. Eyes sharp, suspicious. I didn't know Jake was outside. They'd come together. He heard. Without a word, he punched my chest hard, staggering me, then pointed furiously. "Alex, I misjudged you. Emily's amazing, devoted, and you treat her like this, using me as an excuse. You call yourself a man." I clutched my aching chest, then punched his face. He hit the ground, nose bleeding. Emily rushed to help him, worriedly asking if he was okay, then glared at me angrily. "Alex, what happened to you?" "Jay came because he worried for my safety." "Your heart's twisted. Everything looks twisted to you." I'd seen that look before back when I was the outcast. After school, I was cornered by bullies. No one helped. Only Emily stepped up, shielding me. "I won't let you hurt Alex." Trembling in fear, but unyielding. That day, no hero saved us. I got beaten black and blue. Bullies, too. Emily teared up worriedly. I wanted to help, but didn't want to drag her down. Her eyes were full of care and love then. Now, just disappointment and confusion. "Fina." I looked at her, chuckling faintly. "Safety? Is my place dangerous?" Emily stiffened, scrambling to explain. I cut her off. "No need. My heart's twisted. No explanation required." I turned to enter, but she jammed her hand in the door. "Move it." She shook her head stubbornly. "Whatever." I yanked the door open, then slammed it shut without hesitation. She pulled back at the last second. Outside, Emily sobbed heartbreakingly. Jake took her hand, softening. Let's go. Not worth it for him. But maybe he missed the hidden glee and triumph in his eyes. Emily let him lead her, glancing back at my door thrice. Her eyes were complex, hurt, puzzled. Maybe a hint of reliance on his protection. The string between them seemed even brighter to me. I stayed silent, emotions flat. I went to work, home, ate, and slept as usual. The world's noise didn't touch me, but Emily's tactics escalated. She and Jake started appearing together often. First, accidental run-ins at my usual coffee shop and office lobby, then blatant shows. She'd link arms with Jake, bodies close, passing me laughter aloud. She sneak peeks at my reaction, seeing none. Not even a blink, she fumed. It went from holding arms to feeding food to hugs. I watched indifferently like an outsider until a friend's gathering. She tiptoed and kissed Jake's lips in front of everyone. The room went silent, all stunned, eyes darting between the three of us. Jake seemed surprised, but soon held her, kissing back. I sipped my cold beer, sliding down without a ripple, almost wanted to laugh inside. See, fate's unstoppable. My lack of reaction enraged Emily. She shoved Jake away, glaring daggers. Her chest heaving, eyes furious with a mad glint. She fled. Jake glanced at me, then chased after her. After that, she vanished for a while. The world quieted. It didn't matter to me. I kept the routine. Work by day, sleep by night. Steady, healthy. Even my boss praised my performance, offering a promotion and raise. No real stir in me. The boss took it as composure, bragging to colleagues. See, we need more like Alex. Steady, capable, low-key. Applause around, sincere or not. I just watched them and their strings like bosses connecting to their secretaries. The bickering pairs growing thicker. After lunch, I liked the office rooftop. Standing there, the fresh breeze soothing. At least no annoying strings to see. Hey, this is my spot. As I leaned on the railing, gazing out, a crisp voice came from behind. I turned. Someone sat on the stairwell overhang, legs dangling over the edge, humming lightly. The tune was a nod, not melodic but ethereal. The wind lifted her white skirt and black hair. I knew her. She started at the company the same time as me. A college classmate. Everyone said she was nuts. Pretty but weird. She'd walk slowly in pouring rain on empty fields, face up, letting the rain drench her like a thirsty plant. Or she'd stare at heads, muttering. "Where's that girl always with you?" she asked suddenly, curious. I didn't want to answer and turned to leave downstairs. She stood abruptly, poised to jump. It scared me. I rushed below, arms out to catch her, but she leaped down first, landing perfectly like a gymnast. She approached me, eyes bright and piercing, suddenly pointed at my head, casual. "You have a clear, fading line here, gray-black, about to snap." She paused and added, "With that girl you were always with, right?" My heart jolted. It was the first time I really looked at her. She was beautiful, fair skin, fine features, but her eyes were distant, otherworldly. "You can see?" I asked. "Yeah," she nodded. "I see people's relationship decay lines." She scratched her hair, annoyed at how to explain. Basically signs when bonds are about to sour. No bragging, just stating fact. I trembled inside. "Why? Tell me." She tilted her head, finger to lips. "Why?" She looked at me and smiled wide. "Do you know you seem okay?" And she leaned close. I saw her fine down and lavender scent. "You're the first to believe me." I stepped back. "I didn't say I do." She grinned slightly, "But you didn't doubt either." "Circle me." "Guess why?" "Why step so easy?" "Beside me being right." "Only if." She leaned to my ear and whispered warmly, "You see lines, too." My heart pounded wildly, a kinder feeling like an electric current. She grabbed my hand, eyes like finding kin, excited, breathing fast. "Let's be accomplices. Freaks belong with freaks." What the heck? We got closer, ate in the cafeteria, walked in the blue wind on the roof. She'd point at passing couples and whisper, which had grain colors. We'd squat roadside, watching ants move house for hours, or before storms, run to open spots. We'd yell at cloudy skies till hoarse. Passers-by pointed and said two weirdos paired up. We didn't care. With her, I somehow felt peaceful and relaxed. No need for explanations. We got each other's unseen world. Years of red string weight and helplessness. She caught it lightly. Let me set it down. Of course, this landed in Emily's eyes, who still popped into my view as proof I cheated. She and Jake confronted us aggressively. Emily pointed at Sophia, her voice sharp. Alex, it's her, right? You hooked up ages ago, using me and Jake as excuses. Liar. Sophia just watched calmly, even pityingly. That look infuriated Emily. She spewed insults, drawing a crowd. Jake chimed in, eyeing me with contempt. Sophia shouldn't take that. I was about to speak when she pulled me back. Her voice was soft but clear. For what I know, you and Alex broke up already, she said, narrowing her eyes at Emily. And the reason was you and this guy next to you getting too cozy for comfort, she added meaningfully. Everyone at work had seen Emily and Jake's closeness, so they watched the drama, sighing. Emily flushed. You nonsense. Jake and I are just friends. Sophia chuckled lightly. Friends feed each other as the opposite sex while dating someone. Go to movies alone. Step closer. Was it hallucination when we saw you arm in arm, even kissing? Word by word, Emily paled like she was drained. She staggered. Jay caught her and looked at me. Then at Sophia, his eyes full of despair and jealousy. She cried and ran. Jake glared viciously and followed. The farce ended with Sophia's logic. People's view of her shifted gradually. But Emily didn't quit. She came once more on a rainy night, soaked like a ghost. She cried, begging to reunite, saying she'd distance herself from Jake. And it was true. Lately at work, there was no more Emily and Jake closeness. I heard she avoided him. Office gossip said they fought big. Emily blamed Jake. If not for him, I wouldn't get mad. I wouldn't have dumped her. The argument escalated. Jake fired back, no hold barred. What it takes to Emily's no saint. Reportedly, Emily sat devastated, slapping herself, muttering, "It's her fault. Her fault." I didn't see it. Until today, Emily showed. I saw her swollen face. But before Jay confronted me, in a rage, he tried punching. I pinned him down. "It's your fault. Yours. Did you badmouth me to Emily? Make her leave? Your fault." He spilled his feelings for Emily, his resentment that I stole her first. I learned then, during my time with Emily, that someone watched hatefully. In his view, I was the villain who took his love. "Alex, believe me, you're the only one I love." I snapped back, seeing Emily. Rain streamed down her hair, mixing with tears. I looked at her, feeling no stir inside, just tired. "How'd it come to this?" I said. "Emily, go home. We're done." I tossed an umbrella out and shut the door on her desperate cries. I thought this was finally over. Fate loves stirring when you think it's calm. Days later, bombshell news hit social media and office forums. Emily was pregnant. She hadn't come to work since seeing me. She claimed the kid was mine and called me a deadbeat cheater who dumped her. Jake jumped in as a justice warrior, posting about it. You never know. People didn't think my longtime bro was like this. It wasn't worth it for me. I attached a picture of her soaked, begging at my door, while I coldly shut her out with sad music and misleading texts. Public sympathy and anger ignited, and curses flooded in. I didn't expect Jake's gift as I reeled. There was a knock at the door. Sophia was outside, her forehead sweaty and her stare anxious. She was worried I'd hurt myself. When she saw me fine, she sighed in relief. I handed her water and sat her down. "Don't worry, I'm not that fragile," I said. She lost her cool, gripping my arm tight and staring. She and Jake had a black line now, getting blacker and more decayed. I got her point. Sophia and I investigated quietly, using our ability to see bonds smooth things. Many helped unknowingly. Sure enough, our probe revealed the truth. It was all Jake's scheme from his drinking buddies. We got evidence of his smears. Jake mocked Emily as easy prey. A little kindness won her trust, and I belittled my stupidity for thinking he was a true friend. He laughed and complained too. Her pretense was still pining for me. He bragged about his deeds and how he gained Emily's trust. He whispered doubts until we split, then fake comforted her until one drunk night when he drugged her. They hooked up. His face was ecstatic, arrogant, and smug, but he didn't expect the pregnancy. Jake didn't want responsibility. Young love was worn by time, leaving only resentment. Now, with all interest gone, the world was big, and there was no time for Emily. Emily was pregnant, with no real love for Jake. She didn't want to be bound, but still fantasized about me. So she framed me to force a return suited to Jake. He resented me for stealing her, tormenting me. We couldn't pass this by. Sophia and I smiled knowingly, knowing it could end. We posted all the evidence online, and the tide turned instantly. Emily and Jake were ruined, both fired and vanished. I heard later they were spotted near a border town, lured for big money gigs. Not my concern. The world was truly quiet. Sophia and I kept hanging out, class, meals, aunt watching, rain yelling. In time, we naturally coupled. No string pulling, no decay warning, just two lonely souls seeing the world's flip side, drawing close and warming each other. Since we were both bad omens, we decided to tie together to spare others. Sophia held my hand, gazing skyward, her cheeks flushed as she fanned herself, seemingly hot. I gripped back tight. Sure, I'm looking forward to it. As I finished, she burrowed into my arms. You promised. Regret it? I'll bite you dead. I held her quietly, watching the sunset clouds, nodding softly. Okay, bite me then. She backtracked. Nah, not dead. We laughed miraculously when we linked, walking in the sun. The chaotic red strings plaguing me for years vanished like the tide. I gaped at Sophia, and she at me. Same shock and relief. I can't see the decay lines anymore, she said. We smiled, hence class tight. This power was never a gift. It brought pain, struggle, helplessness. Now gone, we could be normal. Face our own unknown love. Not bound by preset strings. Not haunted by foretold decay. Future unknown. But this hand in mine lets me walk on peacefully. That's enough. Story complete.